I know, Mr. Chair, that you care a lot about homeownership and making homeownership accessible and available to folks. My colleague, Senator Lummis, as well, many of the folks on my side of the aisle as well. And so I think this is something that we can agree on, that the rising cost of homeownership is a big challenge for our constituents, for Americans. And one of the big pressures, there are many, but one of the big pressures is the rising cost of home insurance. In Minnesota, families, seniors are struggling to manage a nearly 40% increase in home insurance rates. We've seen this over the last 7 years or so. And I know, Chair Powell, that you've told this committee in the past that that rising cost of buying insurance for your home has been a source of inflation as we've been trying to manage inflation. Now, I don't know anyone who doesn't see this crisis of rising insurance rates as being caused by extreme weather events. We've seen massive flooding in the southeastern United States. We've seen flooding in Minnesota. We've seen fires in the Mountain West in California. I mean, these are climate-related events. That's not a political position. That is just a fact. So, we've got banks that of course, require, understandably, that a homeowner provide insurance as a predicate for getting a mortgage. So there's a big question about what's going to happen when insurance becomes unaffordable, or in some parts of the country, just literally not available, and what impact that would have on the mortgage markets, on the value of American homes. Just last week, a new analysis from First Street showed that overall, the value of U.S. real estate could be reduced by $1.4 trillion, colleagues, over the next 30 years due to unaccounted for climate risk. That's the cost, the risk of not being able to afford home insurance because of these extreme weather events. And the prospect of trillions of dollars of property become uninsurable is clearly a recipe, it seems to me, for market instability in the rental as well as the mortgage market. So my question, Chair Powell, is, given these trends, how do you think the Fed and how do you think we should be thinking about the challenges that these events are going to pose to insurance markets and to the overall financial stability of the economy? I'm asking you to comment specifically on climate change, because I understand my colleagues on the other side of the aisle see that as a political question. It's more like what you see as the risk to financial stability here.